This guy's his name is Jay Noon, and this entity called the DCYF. I think it's the Division for Children, Youth, and Families. Apparently, somebody called it's almost like CPS, Child Protective Services. Recently, some busybodies reported Jay Noon's family to DCYF when his wife Shalon allegedly went into a store and left their 2-year-old strapped safely into a car seat with the car running. The meddling family destroying goons dropped into Noon's Domestead in Henniker on Friday. I think this is in New Hampshire. To try to search the premises, despite showing Jay a written threat from a robed person, that's a judge. Jay refused to allow them in and wisely recorded the encounter. Check this out.
Freaking.com also has...
So we just spoke with him. We asked him to come down and convey the message that he relayed to us to you, so we can kind of put that an end to it. So if you would like to, Jay.
I don't mind if you wait for your FedEx too, though.
It's for Dave.
All right, thanks, man. So anyways.
So we obviously conveyed that you guys would like to execute that order, and he has conveyed to us that he doesn't want to let you guys do that. So he's going to tell you that next.
So you're being recorded here, and we have witnesses. Everything is being documented.
So we have a policy. If you're recording us, I have to have a recording going as well. It doesn't necessarily have to have.
Do whatever you want.
I'm just going to talk into my phone before I do it, so I know what the recording is for here. So just a second. You can keep going if you want.
So who are you guys?
So CPS City Taylor Robbins, and we're here with Henniker PD at his family's residence on Ware Road in Henniker. They're recording us, and I'm starting my phone to record what we talk about so that we have a copy as well.
So what you got here is you got government goons who've been given a slip of paper by a robed tyrant called a judge, and they're there because we've seen this time and time again. History repeats itself, and if you go back in history, you see CPS and these DCYF people jeopardizing the family unit for no freaking reason at all, just based on hearsay. So I like how this guy takes control verbally, kindly, calmly takes control of the situation with knowledge.
This is not a residence, it's private property. I am documenting everything for, as I have told you guys orally, and is actually on record in the Hillsborough courthouse that I require $50,000 an hour to carry out orders from anybody. If you're going to order me to do something, compel me to do something, I will require $50,000 per hour. That is what my time is worth. It is very valuable. I want you guys to understand that. So now, I have been damaged for several hours as of this right now. Monday, I am going to the Risk Management Division, and I'm bringing claims against your bond. And also, I would like to get a copy of your oath of office. Have you sworn an oath to the New Hampshire and United States Constitution?
So, Jace, my name's Melissa. We're with the division. We do have the right to enter to be able to come to the premises.
We do have the right to enter. Now, why do you think you have that right? Oh, because I have a slip of paper from a robed tyrant. That's why they think they have a right to enter private property and mess with some guy's family.
With you denying that,
you have a right, as it is granted you by God, is because that's where rights come from, right?
we have the right to enter from the courts.
Okay. Well, the court, as far as I'm concerned, has no jurisdiction. The district court system is not even a lawful court. It is a municipal corporation franchise out of the District of Columbia. And just Google the word state and NHRSA. You will see the word state is defined as District of Columbia. This right here, this ground is a tract of land on New Hampshire, not within the state of New Hampshire. The state of New Hampshire is a legal franchise of the District of Columbia. It is a name in a filing cabinet, is all it is. Fictions and states do not have rights. They have privileges and immunities, and they have...
I love that. States and fictions do not have rights. And that harkens back to Frederick Bastiat, who said the state is that great fiction by which everyone seeks to live at the expense of everyone else. And that's what you're seeing right here. They really believe they derive authority from a legal fiction. And when you start calling them on it, and one person makes 2 people, makes 4 people, and everybody gets together and calls them on their BS, you can actually get somewhere. Knowledge is power. And when you have knowledge like this guy has, you can tell he's in a very powerful position. It puts them back on their heels.
Consent from the governed, and I do not give you any consent. I have never given you any consent. And if you feel I have any consent, or you feel you have any power of attorney over me or my family, let this be set on the record right now that I withdraw any consent and I withdraw any power of attorney that you may feel you do or do not have. And understand that if you're going to compel me and take my time as you are now, as far as I'm concerned, the most violent gang in New Hampshire is the state of New Hampshire. And you guys are a prime example. There's a little girl that was missing for 2 years that DCF lost track of, Harmony. We have stories all over the place of millions of dollars worth of lawsuits being settled. J.R. Hole, I was on the phone with him today for an hour, and he is bringing major claims against you. He is running for state representative. And in fact, I have been now inspired to get off the couch, shut off the television, put down my beer, and I am going to be running for some kind of office here to effectively remove the power and authority that you tyrants are raging and executing against the people. You have no authority. You have no right. I don't even believe you know what the law is.
So I just want, with you denying.
And that's how we should operate. We should operate as though they have no authority, because in reality, they don't. They're trying to exert authority over us, but it's a fictitious authority based on a fairy tale. We're not trying to exert authority over other people. If we did, then society would see us as bad people. But for some reason, society is blinded by titles, badges, uniforms, robes. All of a sudden, malicious intent and criminal activity is okay as long as they're agents of the state. No, that's fantasy. That's fiction. That's Easter Bunny, Christmas story, Santa Claus stuff.
It's just now we will go to the courts and file.
I don't consent. So you show me on that order where it says I'm compelled to do something. Where does it say I have to do something? Show me where it says I have to do something.
Would you like another
Yeah.
copy?
No, I just want you to point it out to say where I'm compelled. It doesn't say my name anywhere on there. I have to do anything. I have it right in front of me, and I've studied it, and I have the case law on this. So
I think what we're just looking at is if you were willingly going to let them in your house to execute them.
absolutely not.
Okay. All right. So we got.
I don't want you.
Let's the time is valuable.
Yep.
I think we should get this.
Your director, the governor, they're all getting notified. I'm going to be asking for your resignation in this. And, you urban city liberal types are really all about attacking country boys. And this is a culture war that's extreme. It's happening. And there's plenty of examples of it, and we're making it happen. Be sure to listen to Free Talk Live, and you'll hear more. Have you heard of that? Check it out.
So I think
Write
we're
that
gonna
down.
end the conversation, since it's not proving to go anywhere.
Sounds good.
Hey, thank you guys.
Yeah, and if you have any
We'd like to invite.
So they tuck tail and run, and actually the law enforcers did what the law enforcers were supposed to do. But if they exerted their authority and said, no, the judge has given us an order, and they pressed the law enforcers, I bet you anything the law enforcers would do what the judge says. Here's this guy who was talking right here. He's going to explain a little bit about what, the background and what this was all about.
I want to explain the situation. New Hampshire, DCYF social worker Melissa Coombs has come against my family for my wife leaving our 2-year-old in the car outside of a store for roughly a half an hour. Melissa Combs has lied in her affidavit to the court several times. One example is she uses the term anti-government and the family lives on a compound with lookouts in her affidavit she submitted to the court. That is when I realized how dire the situation was and moved my family to a safe location several hours away, as my wife is terrified that our homestead would be raided by a SWAT team and Bearcats and, drones crashing through the windows like they do to other people who live in.
Yeah, think about it. That's all it took with Waco. Oh, it's a compound. Oh, it's a cult. Oh, they're hoarding weapons. Children are in danger. And then, of course, the FBI, CIA, they load up all the equipment, the armament, and they go out there and they conduct a raid for 56 days? At the end of it, the FBI ends up setting fire to the place. 76 people die in the process. 20 of them are children, but they just went to protect and serve. They went to make sure that those children were safe. The exact opposite happened. When you sprinkle in government, the ingredient of government into that little cake, you destroy the entire cake.
Compounds with lookouts that are anti-government. My wife, daughter, and son have not been in their home or on their farm for over a week now. This is very difficult for my family. And extremely difficult for my daughter, as she is constantly asking for her dad and is begging my wife to go to work with dad. Normally, each morning, my daughter puts on her boots and is very excited to go to work with dad because her chores are feeding chickens, pigs, and cows, and she likes it a lot. My daughter, whose favorite thing to do is work and read with her dad, her favorite books are the ones about chickens, cows, and pigs, and horses. The New Hampshire DCYF has a motion to enter premises from the Hillsborough, New Hampshire District Court that was quite likely rubber stamped with other DCYF cases. It is signed by Judge Aaron B. McIntyre. This order says a police officer, juvenile parole officer, or child protection service worker shall enter the premises of the children in furtherance of the Department of Health and Human Services investigation and to assess the immediate safety and the well-being of the children. Furthermore, these creeps have an order to interview my 2-year-old daughter alone without the parents present, and to compel the parents to provide information for children's medical provider to sign a release of information. This past Sunday, on April 3rd, in the best interest of justice, I extended an olive branch to reach out to the Henniker Chief of Police and offered to invite the Henniker Chief of Police and one of his sergeants to my home to enter the premises and assess the immediate safety of the kids. Because I have nothing to hide, but I'm not going to allow professional child traffickers on my land or near my kid, I contacted.
And if you want to check that out, what he just said about professional child traffickers, just look at how many kids disappear every year in the custody of government child protective services. They end up doing the opposite almost every single time of what they say their objective is.
The local chief of police, as I believe the local rural Henniker Police Department are good people.
Yeah, Swamp Lover makes a really good point there. A 2-year-old, how easily manipulated would she be by them? And she would. You could easily manipulate any little kid to extract any kind of information you want. The information you're looking for, oh, you'll make sure it's there.
And have similar values as I do. DCYF rejected that offer. And they are continuing to come to our property and demanding I let them in the house and interview my kids. They continue to call my home phone and call and text message my wife's cell phone. The Henniker Chief of Police has told DCYF that he believes my kids are not neglected. The reason I am not allowing these child traffickers into my life is, first off, they don't have jurisdiction. Second, they don't have probable cause. And they have a horrible track record of destroying families.
Yep,
just take a few minutes to internet search New Hampshire DCYF settlements, and you will see article after article where the state of New Hampshire has settled millions of dollars worth of lawsuits due to DCYF literally taking kids from families and giving these kids to child molesters and murderers. 2 cases, the child molesters were known child molesters. The current presidential administration, the courts, the legislature, legacy media, big tech, the public schools, and academia have been infiltrated by radical leftist cult members for decades. They have been engaged in multi-generational cultural warfare against long-standing American values. The radical leftists don't have kids, but they want ours. If you send your kids to public school and let them use internet devices, then the radical leftists have your kids. The solution: moms and dads need to get back to work being responsible for their own and not just pawning that responsibility on the government school system, and not using big tech internet devices as babysitters and pacifiers. Get your kids out of the public schools, remove big tech from their lives, and get your kids back on the land and allow them to heal. A quote from Rudolf Steiner: "Our highest endeavor must be to develop free human beings who are able of themselves to impart purpose and direction to their lives. They need for imagination, a sense of truth, and a feeling of responsibility. These three forces are the very nerve of education. I need your help to defend my family from this intrusion into my life. I have a friend right down the road. His name is J.R. Hole. You can internet search him. It was 90 days it took him to fight this battle and $50,000 in lawyer fees, and he won. It is a very...
That is ridiculous. That every bit of that money should be refunded when the person is found innocent by the people who said he was initially guilty. That is ridiculous that you have to spend one moment of your time battling these people who brought a false claim against you. It's just
very important, crucial time for us.
It's ridiculous. It's unconscionable. It's immoral. Yeah, arrest the parasites. I totally agree with you sliding into it. So what I'll do is I was trying to get, let me see. I don't know why this is, I don't know why it's going small like that. And I can't find the link underneath here. I don't know why it's doing that right there. So what I'll try to do is if I end up posting this video on YouTube or DLive or wherever, I'll try to include the links so that you can reach out to this guy if you guys want to help him. I think his name is Jay Noon. It looks like no one, but I think he pronounces it Noon. And this is on the freekeen.com website.